Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Metroid Prime 2 Echoes. In the last episode, we came here to the Great Temple, we fought off the normal and dark Alpha Splinter, and we got a strange bit of alien technology bonded to our power suit, which I'm sure can only be a good thing. This episode, we're going to be, well, heading to the very core of the temple to see if we can work out exactly what has happened to us, because it doesn't seem like it's going to be a particularly, well, we'll find out one way or the other. So, well, I'm not going to say anything actually. Do not be afraid. I am Umos, Sentinel of the Luminoth. Please listen and hear of our world's peril. Long ago, a cosmic object fell to our planet, Aether, exploding with a great force. A rift was torn in time and space, and a strange power flowed over the world. Where once there was one Aether, there were now two, one of light and one of shadow, each existing in its own dimension. It was the end of peace on Aether, for a new race was born that day on the dark world. One filled with hate and terrible power. They are the Ing. The Ing are creatures of shadow and darkness, knowing nothing of peace or mercy. For decades we stood against them, and yet now we lie on the verge of defeat. When Dark Aether was born, our planetary energy was divided, half for our world, half for theirs. Should one world gain control of this energy, the other will perish. Before you arrived, the Ing had stolen a device from us, one that collects planetary energy. With it, they have weakened our planet to the verge of collapse. But fortune has smiled on this day, for the energy transfer module is now bonded to you. With it, you can help us restore our world. You are our only hope, Samus. Should we fail, the Ing will look to the stars for new planets to ravage and conquer. Your species could be their next victims. The Ing have taken our energy to 3 temples in Dark Aether. Find these temples and transfer the energy from them to our own. I have updated your map system with the location of another temple. There is knowledge there that can help you on your way. I have also updated your translator module. You can now access devices and doors coded with violet holograms. Many lands are now open to you. Prepare well for your journey. The Ing now know you possess the energy transfer module. They will try to recover it at all costs. Return to me once you have restored the energy to a temple. I will aid you as I can. May the light of Aether shine on you. So, there's the plot for the game. We now know what we're doing here. We know what's happened to the... last episode we found out what happened to the troopers and that they're all dead, but now we have a bit of another focus. So there's a few things to scan here. Up here is a little ball, which is a collection of several types of energy. Types include solar, bio, and geothermal energy, unable to measure exact levels with current scan equipment. This is a more important one on the ground here, is the Regional Energy Controller. Unit regulates planetary energy in this sector and is linked to a global energy network. Equally, we can scan the Luminoth himself, Umos. Indigenous sapient species of planet Aether. Subject is Umos, Sentinel of the Luminoth, and guardian of his species and this sacred temple. Finally, as he said, we now have the ability to translate violet holograms. And they will give us mostly lore, so this lore is called Origins. It is told that the Luminoth were not born of Aether, but of the stars. In the early days, we roamed the greatness of the void, bathing in the glorious light of 1,000 stars. We met a vast number of enlightened minds, the Nekren, the Ilia, and the Chozo among them. Each of them we found had claimed a homeworld and formed a deep bond with it. In time, we decided to do the same. So, we can now explore, as he says, a lot more now that the violet rooms are open to us. Let's head back to the chamber in which we fought the Dark Alpha Splinter last episode. So, over to the right here is a door that has a violet hologram on it now. Pathway to Agon. Beyond the pathway to Agon sector lies. So the world, as you can see, is roughly split into 3 areas. We can't necessarily see it, but the first of those areas is the Agon Wastes. There's a new creature here to scan. This is a light flyer. It's a mechanism, actually, not a creature. Light-generating flyer. Target mechanoid is quite durable. It can fire bursts of energy in combat. Let's put quite durable to the test. That's only a few shots to even take it down. 1 charge shot hardly qualifies as quite durable, I think. But anyway, if we head over here, then we have another elevator. Scanning this will bring it online. Wonderful. Let's head down. I like the fact that elevator is not only rocket powered, but also goes at an angle as well in the tube. If you have a look, it's quite cool. Anyway, if we scan this door, we can now read it. Let this gateway forever protect our sacred temple. May you find enlightenment and peace. And upon translating it somehow, it opens to an area we should recognize. Where we broke that winch last episode, which is great. Oh good. Dark Splinters. Well, if we kill a couple basically kill as many of them quickly here before they actually get darkly infected as you can. Because that just makes them a lot easier to fight. While they are in the process of being symbioted, you can't damage them at all. There are 2 over here. Remember, I've said in the past, and I'll say it again, the radar in the top left is really handy for, well, like the motion tracker for identifying enemies that you may have misplaced, which is a very real threat. Now, what we can do, which we didn't have when we were last up here, is bust through that. Is it worth? I'm going to go check that out and see why I can't get through to it. Well, I definitely can't get through to it now because those gates are in the way. Well, if there is something there, I'll come back for it once I have the ability to break through Denzium, which is going to be quite some time. Let's bring that missile thing in. And through here is an energy tank, which is really nice. This is the equivalent of a heart container in a Zelda game or something. Our maximum energy capacity is increased by 100. So now we have the same 99, but once that drains, we have that little white bit at the top there. That one then goes. So we now have twice the health, which is great. Now what we need to do is head, if I bring up the map, back to that area there, the industrial site. Now here, there is another violet translator door which we can crack open. Beyond this door lies the path to Agon Waste, once fertile plains, now sand scorched and ruined by war. May life thrive there again one day. And then there's a dead Luminoth here, and this one is important. Note this is Keybearer lore, and this is the testament of our first Keybearer, which will make more sense later on. But for now, final entry, a warrior Jifme. Their army swells, beasts and rogue machines join the ranks of the Horde, all eager to bring death to the Luminoth. The Ing sent these new additions to the industrial site to do battle with me, while they watched from safety. Cowardly mongrels! My only regret in death is that I did not live to see the day of their defeat. May it come soon! But yes, you'll notice one word of that was in red, and that's important for much, much later. But for now, well, this very much feels like we're going into the Impact Crater on Mass Effect. Metroid Prime 1. But we aren't. There is this cliff here, but there's a few additional things. If we look to the left here, there's this web goo, which we can break through and grab. A missile expansion. So, cue another thing on the visualizer. There is a second bar at the bottom underneath the scan bar, and that bar will fill up with the 50 missile expansions there in the game. We can now fire 10 missiles. Every expansion gives you 5, so the 50 in the game bring you to a total of 250 missiles, which is very nice. We also have hidden on the wall to the right here some Luminoth lore, our heritage. Our search for a home took us through the cosmos. For many a great cycle we roamed, yet a place to call our own eluded us. In time we began to despair, feeling the search was in vain. We considered remaining among the stars until Scout returned with news of a world unlike any other. When we beheld Aether for the first time, so great was her beauty that we forsook the stars forever to live upon the surface. From that day forth, the Luminoth were Aether, our blessed paradise. So, with that done, we can use this panel here to summon a lift down to Agon Wastes. So, straight ahead here are these things to the right, which require a scan. These are Agon Bearopods. Living storage units of the Luminoth. Hardy desert plant form used to store items. Tough epidermis can be destroyed with weapons. So it's a bit creepy that they basically grow a plant around whatever they want to I suppose it makes sense with the kind of people the Luminoth are, but you can bust through them if you need anything. Unfortunately, or fortunately, we're full of energy and missiles. A few more things to scan through here. There is a Lumite. Photosynthetic flying insectoid, relatively harmless in the shadows, powerful and invisible in the light. So you basically got to wait until it's on a wall and then lay into it there. As they're passing through like areas of direct sunlight, they become very powerful and have an annoying ranged attack. There's a dead Luminoth here that's been dead for 1.1 decacycles. Body has been badly damaged by sandstorms and heat exposure. Judging by the number of blast wounds, the target was dead long before the desert got to it. Equally here, there is another scan, which is sandgrass. Indigenous strain of grass adapted to a desert climate. Oh, Wii remote batteries are low. Plant requires no moisture to survive, relying exclusively on solar energy for sustenance. That's pretty good. So, if my controls start going a bit janky, it's because the batteries are going on the piss. Oh! And that's the batteries have run out. But I've learned since that episode of Darksiders, and I have an extra set of batteries charging at the moment, so we're all good. Wonderful. I love how it warms me that my batteries are running low, literally about 10 seconds before they die completely. Still, I suppose it's technically better to have the warning. So, welcome to the creepy desolation of the Agon Wastes. There's a lot going on here, and the camera there showed us very much where we need to go. For now, if we hop down into the sand, we see a new enemy. This is the Sand Digger. Let's give it a scan. Oh, it's coming straight at me as well. Desert-based tunneling bioform. Extremely well-armoured, target exposed eyes to damage this creature. It also has two heads, so we shoot enough at the front head, and it switches to the back head. You can only target the head which is currently active. It's back on the front head again. There's your chance to wail onto it a little bit. And yeah, enough damage will destroy one head, then destroy the other head, and the whole thing blows up. Disgusting and lovely. Up here are sand bats. I tried to scan some of these last episode and didn't entirely manage, but there we go. Small airborne predator pack. Contact with targets can cause minor damage. Targets travel in flying swarms. Wonderful. Now, somewhere around here, and I can't remember exactly where it is. Oh, it's literally right the fuck next to me, is a missile door. Crack that open and you will find a save station. There's more sandbats if you need to scan them for any reason. I'm going to save here literally just to be able to recharge. And this save station is kind of unusual, because most of them are like little just nooks that come off a room and that's it. This one is actually a passageway between two areas. If we hop into Morphball mode and roll behind here, we are in this kind of like sand stream. So rolling upstream takes a bit of time because we're rolling upstream. That was pretty much a self-sufficient statement. You'll have to take my word for it. Well, okay, you won't. If you go through here, then there is a missile expansion that you can't get to through a wall that you can't get through. So we can't go through there yet. But there is at least one advantage through here because there is this thing here. Oh, I think I'm in a sandfall somewhere, but this is a blue root tree. A highly poisonous plant form, durable tree with venomous leaves, found on several worlds in desert climate zones. I do wonder how exactly it's spread between different worlds, but you know, maybe someone like the Chozo or the Luminoth took it. That makes enough sense. Anyway, now we can actually come back to this area, which is where we want to be. I believe in here we're going to fight another Sand Digger. This is fine. A nice... Wow, okay, I was going to say a nice charge shot will take its face out, but it's not. Oh, I got a brief flash of Samus's face, which you get there in the illumination of the beam, which is quite cool. Not sure whether you actually would get that from a glass visor, but just in case. Why did I say just in case? I don't know, but either way, I guess is what I kind of supposed to mean. Once you come up here, there is this pillar, and part of the pillar can be scanned. Structural analysis complete. Structural integrity of Brimstone. Object at critical. Brimstone can be destroyed by missiles. And I'm not going to watch it fall over because I was busy cracking open that Bearopod. Sandbats here can just be, if you shoot in a straight line, you'll get enough of them eventually that you can pass through. Now, down to the left here, you have some lore that we can't actually access at the moment because we need to update our translator module again. We shoot that thing, and the second one will fall down, and we can cross it again, take out some sandbats. You see how this is going. We're kind of gradually proceeding upwards. The sandbats will just whack into you. Now here, there's a door that we can't get to, and a dark, spooky area. But I'll talk about that a lot further in the distance, in the future even. For now, there's also this thing. Statue composed of ordinary alloys and stone, purpose unknown, possibly placed as a warning to travellers. Quite what it's trying to warn you of, other than giant slug creatures, is unclear. There's also this mechanism here, that we can't do anything with for now, but it's a solar lens modified for use as a part of a Luminoth sonic security system. Lens is connected to a sonic control system. Sonic detection gear is needed to interface with this system. Neutralizing the emitter may affect the lens. Well, we can't interact with that and won't be able to for approximately another 25 episodes, minimum. Now, maximum 20 to 25. Either way, not for now. What we need to do instead is go through here. There's various things around here that we can't interact with, so we'll just proceed onwards. And here we get to the mining station. Well, anyone who's seen any Metroid before will know exactly what these guys are, but they are our old enemy, space pirates, and these are pirate troopers, starfaring brigand, aggressive, well-armed, bioform, trained for combat and conquest, sworn enemy of Samus-Aran. Oh great. Well, despite being our sworn enemy, they're still extremely easy to kill. These are just the basic pirate troopers, and a single fully charged power beam shot will take any one of them out. And that's all three of them dealt with. That was nice and straightforward. Now, we want to come through here, and right, there is a door straight to your left there. Don't take it. There's nothing through there for you at the moment. Well, you can go through there, but there's nothing of use. This is a Brigzy, a venomous insectoid. Poison stinger concealed in back-mounted shell. Finish it off quickly once the stinger is exposed. So what that means is hit it with a missile, and you expose the stinger, and then shoot it a bit to destroy it. Once you're up here, you can then proceed across these various jumping platforms. There's another door which is an amber translation, which we cannot translate yet, and various other things. There's a statue here. For example, there's a statue of Dichur, the child hero of Agon. Once a lowly acolyte squire, he became a warrior when the temple was attacked. All warriors but Dichur were slain, leaving the boy as sole defender of the temple. He served Agon for nearly a centicycle before being lost in a battle on Dark Aether. That's quite cool. There's various mechanisms of a lock we can't open yet there. Oh, we may as well scan them. So, there are gates constructed of Luminoth designed alloy, which indicates weapons of artillery grade or higher would damage anything made from this alloy. And on top is a component of a larger mining system used to extract raw materials from raw alloys. There's another Brigzy here, which we'll destroy, and if we were to scan it, you would see, well, I'm going to scan it, another brimstone weakened pillar. With that down, we can grab some, hopefully, missiles from here, yes, and crack through this missile door. So, now we're in the temple access, and a new enemy here. Let's scan them really quickly before they hit me. Shit. Oh, okay, we got it. This is a Shriek Bat. Territorial flying rodent. Rapid, explosive enemies. Target and eliminate enemy at range if possible. Because as you can see, they do a suicide dive into you. And you kind of want to just... They don't really do much damage, but taking them out before they do that is still good. What does this remind you of? Reminds me of the temple we went into at the beginning of last episode. And here is Agon Temple itself. Let's head in. Well, this one seems a little larger than the others. This is, unsurprisingly, the Alpha Sand Digger. Large tunneling bioform, extremely well armoured, target exposed eyes to damage this creature. Yes, let's do exactly that. And this fights like any other Sand Digger, except it's bigger. Hope you scanned it there, because that's the only chance you ever have to scan the Alpha Sand Digger, because now it has become... not a Dark Alpha Scanner, Dark Alpha Sand Digger, but the Bomb Guardian, a bomb-dropping Darkling. Enemies utilizing your morphable bomb unit. Although its armor is strong, its tail is exposed when moving. Its mouth can be hit when glowing. So, this fight's basically like Snake Mode Puppet Ganon from The Wind Waker, in that, yes, you need to deal enough damage to its its abdomen, and then do a fully charged shot to its gob. It'll then go around laying some bombs, and then while its butt is purple again, you can lay into it. You can't do damage to it in this mode, you just need to get as many hits on it as possible, so what you want to do is exactly what I was doing there, which is lay into it with just machine gun mode, power beam, just to damage it as much as you can, and then charge up a full shot for the mouth here. And that's it, 2/3 of the way down, I believe, hopefully. Or maybe it's only less than 2/3. Well, we'll find out based on whether the next one kills entirely or not. It's creepy that it's got no eyes. I guess it's entirely armor when it's possessed by Darklings like this. Don't worry, we do find out more about exactly what Darklings and stuff are. Well, I mean, we know they're the Ing and stuff, but a lot more of that is addressed as the game goes on. It's obviously, as you can see, throwing more bombs at us, which is less than convenient, but just keep using your double tapping of A to kind of strafe around it, and you'll both avoid its shots and hopefully bring yourself into contact with its abdomen. Which sounds rude, but isn't. Enough damage done to that, and its gob will open again. There we go, and the old fully charged shot should be wallop. Oh, I think I missed my chance there because it was stuck into a thing. Oh, now it's doing a... That's a bit of a dangerous move when it does the old scatter shot. Let's get behind it. You can just hear me. I'm literally just hammering A and B at the same time to both shoot and remain mobile. Oh, it's in a really shitty position for it again. And wallop! Ugh. Why would they make a fully charged power beam do slightly less than 1/3 of its damage? That's really shitty. It means I have to do a whole other damage cycle onto it, which is mildly irritating. Is that it? Nope, that's just it. Preparing for another attack. How come it can throw out multiple morphball bombs? We can't. We can only have 3 at a time. That don't feel like that's fair. Well, I don't even need to charge shot there. And can you guess exactly what item we obtained by defeating the Bomb Guardian? Indeed, we get the Morphball Bombs. Let's update the visualizer. Well, in Morphball mode, press A to drop a Morphball Bomb, which we knew, because we already had that power at the beginning of the game until you took it away. But either way, we'll hold it there. Well, if we scan this gate ahead, we can see that it's made of telluric alloy, and as we already know, telluric alloy can be blown up with Morphball Bombs, which is wonderful, and that's where we're going to be going next episode. Thank you very much, and I hope you'll join me then. Good day.